Well, alrighty then. Behind me, finished this yesterday. These are all potatoes. Potatoes that I planted for this year. And the ones that I use are the potatoes that I planted last year. So everything that I planted filled about a 5-gallon bucket. They were small, um, didn't produce all that well. Basically, everything I got was what you would call seed potato. And so this year, planted it in the same spot, uh, added some fertilizer, some compost to the soil. Hopefully, it'll invigorate the potatoes to grow bigger. It's a lot of russet, and I don't think I had that many redskins. But anyways, that's what I've got going on so far with the garden. Not too much today. Had to go out of town for a little bit. And anyways, what I wanted to really talk about is what is going on with the whole Supreme Court leak, the arguments of my body, my choice, and there's a lot of confusion going on. So what is funny is how both sides, I'm going to stand in the middle here when it comes to this argument. I'm not going to say one way or the other how I feel about the whole abortion topic, but for 2 years, a year and a half, somewhere around there, there was an awful lot of people, and it seems to be the same people who are now on the side of keeping abortion legal, not just legal, but openly available regardless of circumstances, medical conditions, timing of pregnancy, how late you are in the process. These appear to be the same people that were saying you're going to have this medical procedure because it makes us feel better and safer, and we don't care whether or not it is your body or your choice. This is for the collective. Heard a lot of that. On and on and on and on. Witnessed a lot of it firsthand. People saying, if these stupid idiots would just go ahead and get the jabby jab, then all of this would be over. When in fact, the more people who got the jab, there was an increase in people getting the said thing that it was supposed to prevent. And then they got more aggressive. Well, you're the reason it's not working. Doesn't make any sense to me. So anyways, the people who didn't want to get that medical procedure were arguing my body, my choice. Now we're back to the other people who are trying to force a medical procedure on other people, saying, well, it's my body, my choice. And there's this funny back and forth that is happening. But I just have to say, I think both sides at any given time are not necessarily wrong. They're just being jerks. Everyone in both situations have been complete jerks, and that's putting it mildly. What I don't seem to fully grasp is, the one side that was saying you need to have a certain medical procedure was also arguing for people being put into camps if they decided not to. That's a little extreme. Then you have, with this new argument going on, the same people that want to have a complete ban on things. And it's not even a complete ban. That's kind of irking me about the other side as well, is they're arguing, well, this is a complete ban and blah, blah. No, it just puts it back in the hands of the state. So depending on what state you live in, will depend on what the laws are regarding that medical procedure. So you're getting definitely some lying on that side. But growing up, being raised Catholic, being in a Methodist church for a period of time, definitely being in an anti-abortion community for I would say the majority of my my life. I will say it gets a little ridiculous on their end where they argue not only do we want this to be illegal, but any form of birth control is wrong. That's where I have an issue with it. If this procedure is so evil, why would you also say the things that could prevent it from happening are also wrong? When it comes to both sides, there doesn't seem to be any type of negotiation. There's no middle ground. And that's what really irritates me. That's what makes me make videos like this, where I have to explain that, at any given time, on any given day, both sides are wrong. And they're not gaining any points with me when it comes to their arguments. And I just don't... I don't see where it's doing anybody any good when they continue on like this. I did hear an interesting bit. So the person who's going to be posted at the beginning of this video, so far is the main suspect for the Supreme Court leak. And I've read a little bit more about this and why they're pointing the finger at her. So it turns out during her time to become a Supreme Court law clerk, you have to write certain papers. And of course the papers that she decided to write were about abortion rights, reproductive rights. Now that by itself is not exactly the smoking gun. The smoking gun comes in when you have the reporter who is the one that published the 98-page complete court document that was leaked. So, a little while back, this person got married. Her husband is a journalist. And there was a period of time where he worked with, guess who? The same journalist that leaked the Supreme Court document. They worked together a couple years ago. They stayed in contact. It's known that they've had instant messages going back and forth via Twitter as early as I think about a year ago. So there's a pretty good case. this is the person who leaked it. And I, for one, it's very obvious that there's an attack going on against the Supreme Court. The department itself, the left definitely has an issue with the amount of power that they have. And we can definitely see that with Joe Biden, who undermines any time the court steps in and says, this mandate is unconstitutional. And then Joe Biden's like, yeah, we're going to do it anyways. So you definitely have a very in-your-face policy of not following what the court says, which of course means the court doesn't exactly have any power. The fact that the president can say we're going to continue doing this regardless of what the Supreme Court says undermines the court, takes away any accountability for applying their decisions, which is the whole point. You either respect the court or the court has no authority. At the moment, the court has no authority. And the fact that these documents are being leaked is to completely undermine the authority that the court is supposed to have. And that is a huge issue. That's going to be a problem in the near future. What happens? Oh, got an egg. What happens when the court has to decide another election and one party just says, we don't care what you say, so-and-so's president? Because there's a very good possibility that could happen at some point too. We've had two presidents before, and they both had their own standing armies, and more Americans died during that conflict than any other conflict. So I don't know. I think undermining the Supreme Court like that is very dangerous, and it's continuing. It's happening even more, and it's very dangerous. So that's about it. I gotta pick up the kiddo and keep on typing.